up, cosplay family? Welcome to the Geek Out. I'm your host, Tara, from the Cos Parlor. I go live every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time and bring on a guest from the cosplay community to talk about all things cosplay. This is a safe and fun space where we can all come together and celebrate each other and learn from one another. Tonight's guest is the Everyday Grimes. He's a multi-award-winning Rick Grimes cosplayer. And in 2010, he stumbled into the cosplay scene. And as we're going to find out tonight, he seems to really love it. So before bringing him on, though, let's catch up with Jeeves, the AI assistant here. What's up, Jeeves?
Do you want to hear my best zombie impression?
Yes.
Yeah, gargle.
Can you do another one?
Out of the office guy.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. I love that. All right, so we are going to talk about a lot of Walking Dead tonight, which is why Jeeves brought up his zombie impression, which was pretty good. Can you do it one more time?
Yeah, gargle.
Awesome. All right, well, while we're waiting for the Everyday Grimes to come on tonight to join us, I'm just going to bring up a little topic. I want to talk about Dragon Cons coming up next month. And I've never been to a con that's lasted 5 days, so I'm kind of overwhelmed and wondering like what I'm going to cosplay for that many days. And I have so many different cosplays, different characters, and so many variants of different characters. I'm really having a hard time choosing which one I want to do. And I would love to get your opinion. Smith L. Hi! So I definitely think that I want to do Alicia Clark from Fear the Walking Dead. I have about 5 of her cosplays, but I think what I'll do is I'll just do maybe 3 in one day, because another day I want to do 2 River Song cosplays. Maybe I'll do Day of the Moon and Let's Kill Hitler. And then another day I definitely want to do the Pandorica Opens. And then my husband is dying to do a Jean-Luc Picard. So I think we're going to try to do a Star Trek The Next Generation cosplay. I'm going to be Beverly Crusher. And then my son Oscar, he'll be Wesley, which is cool because I think he'll make a great one. Well, hello!
Hey, how are you?
Hey!
How are you?
Good. Welcome to the Geek Out.
Well, thanks for having me. So
I'm so glad to have you.
yeah, I'm excited to have a chat with you. So
Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. How about you?
Yeah, I can hear you good. So
Great.
Well, congratulations on the new member of your family.
I know.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Thank you so much. It's been like it's amazing. It's like a feeling I've never had before.
Yeah, I mean that's but you still look way too young to be a grandma. So I'm not sure if you picked out your name, like how you're going to be addressed by your new grandchild. But some people they're like, oh, I don't want to be called grandma yet. So
yeah,
it's you come up with clever ones like Gigi and
That's it. You just picked it. I'm Gigi.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's awesome. So
thank you. Yeah. We'll see. It's just whatever he ends up calling me. I'll take it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I called my grandparents mom and pop because that's what my dad called them.
Yeah. Well, I knew one of my grandparents, and my father was I got to know his actual parents later in life, but I never called them. One was dead and his mom was still alive, but I never actually called her grandma because I never really knew her. He was actually
right.
He actually was adopted by his aunt and uncle. So I knew them as kind of my grandparents, but I still didn't call them my grandparents. So I
Yeah.
only had one actual grandparent that I knew. So it's different for everybody. So
It is. It is. Yeah. Well, since I got into the scene and I started really getting into, I started my own like cosplay account because I have a personal account too, and I was like, every other post was like cosplay. I was like, my poor friends who aren't into cosplay, like they're like, what is this? What is this? I was like, I'm gonna start another account that's strictly cosplay.
Right.
And so since I started the account, I came across you. I was like, whoa.
Oh
this
wow.
guy is amazing. Like, I just was like, I think you were one of the first shout outs I did. Also, and I was like, the best Rick Grimes I've ever seen.
I remember because I remember the first image I ever saw of your cosplay was Laura Croft, and you did an amazing like Laura Croft. So
thank you.
I remember that, very fondly. So
thank you. That was a fun one to do. That's one when I built just about I built my weapons, and it was fun. That one was really fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something we'll get into because video game genre is a huge love of my sister and I. So we'll talk about that. So
yes,
I'm excited. And it's for everybody watching, hello, and thanks for joining. And thank you for having me. This is I love to talk about all kinds of things. And I'll warn you now, hopefully we don't go over, because I did an interview recently, and she's like, she gave me a couple subjects to talk about, and it turned from an hour to 2.5 hours. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. We got to talking about stuff, and it just like, I looked up and I'm like, it's been 2.5 hours. Like, this is, I'm sorry.
It's like when you talk about what you love, though, it just goes by so fast. And
we went up, we went subject to subject, and it just, before we knew it, it was 2 hours and a half, later.
That's when you're having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll have just as much fun here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, with that background behind you, I mean, I feel so, so janky with this my just wall back here, but like, you got it going on, so
thanks. Yeah, it was I've always been in like the arts and theater, but I never really because I never really got into it in school. It was after school I got into it. I was interested in school, but I didn't really have the accommodations to really get into it. I had a single mom, and it was just hard to like put me in extra classes. So I was, I had my imagination.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, I've, kind of, I just read a lot.
You've blossomed into a multifaceted artist extraordinaire. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk about how you came into this community, because it was kind of by accident. Same with me. I mean, I didn't come in by accident. I just similar, because I know I've read a little bit about your Halloween situation, and same with me. But when you came into this community, tell us a little bit about how that started.
Okay. Well, so we were living in Nashville and Virginia at the same time. So I had moved to Nashville. My sister and I moved to Nashville. I have a lot of friends that are in the music industry. And I moved there specifically to be close to a friend of mine that's amazing individual. He's a good friend of mine. And we moved to Nashville. And look, I'll go back a little bit. So I did not watch the show. Like, I did not watch Walking Dead for the longest time. And I know that comes as a shock to anybody hearing that now. But I didn't. So while we were in Nashville, I mean, over the couple years, we've gone through phases through our lives that, we've had some rough times and some, financially and just situational, in different situations. So we, while we were in Nashville, I knew I was supposed to be there, and it was a little bit of a struggle to move, and we were balancing having a home here and a home there. So it was financially tough for us at points. And so we were Nashville rent poor. So if anybody, Nashville's a spot that everybody wants to move to. So it's got a lot going on in the art scene. It's got a lot going on, whether it's music, arts, food.
Food, yeah.
It's the number one.
Patty B's.
Yeah, it's the number one capital for if you want to have your bride, if you're getting married, if you want to have like a bachelorette party or any kind of wedding party, everybody goes to Nashville. So,
it's really nice.
Yeah, so we lived right on the edge of Brentwood, which is where most of the record companies are. Yeah. In Nashville, and I worked in what's called Nashville proper, which is Music Row. So I worked in Music Row, and but if anybody's ever driven through Nashville lately, traffic is horrible. So you sit in traffic a lot. So we would come home and we're done. The day's been crazy, and we actually since we struggled so much, we didn't have internet for the longest time. And we finally got internet while we were in Nashville, and we decided to finally catch up on Walking Dead completely. Yeah. I had known about the show for years. I've been taking pictures with people for years. I knew about, Andy, and my connection with Andy goes back to Love Actually when he was. So fast forward, we're in Nashville, and Walker Stalker was coming to town. So Sis and I were like, hey, let's go. There's a couple actors I want to meet, and there's a couple actors she wants to meet. Yeah. I'll dress up. It'll be fun. It won't be a big deal. We'll just have fun. Yeah. Well, I got there, and we were running a little late because I had worked on the cosplay all night leading up to the con, and I walked through the wrong door for the event, and it was at the Music City Center. So it's a huge facility.
It's huge. It really is.
You've never been there. It's huge. So I walked through the wrong door. I didn't know where I was supposed to go. It's our first con we've ever gone to. I've never been to anything like this, and so I walk in, and I accidentally walk in the wrong door, which is right in the middle of all the lines where they converge, and you get your passes. And I walked in the door, and there were lines through the whole city center, too deep, 4 lines all the way around the building. And I actually walked right in the middle of where everybody's coming in. And I look around, and all of a sudden, everybody turned and looked at me and mobbed me. And I knew right then my life was changed, So we took thousands and thousands of pictures with people. I won the cosplay contest. I met majority of the actors from the show. They all freaked out. It was an amazing weekend. And then it's been a whirlwind since. I've been invited to so many things, and oh my gosh. So that's the initial of how it started. It was merely to go to a con, meet a couple actors, dress up, have fun for the day. Yeah. Well, that's not how it went. It
was life-changing.
It was, yeah. Yeah. So, for me, personally, God's been opening those doors for me over and over and over again. And this was something I never thought I would get into, and I never thought I would be a part of the Walking Dead universe in any fashion. Yeah. But to be even a small part of it is incredible. So it's a whole different. There's genres and there's fandoms, but Walking Dead has a very unique universe to it. So yeah. Yeah, so, I've never been. I know I had a few friends that went on a Walker Stalker cruise, and she showed me all these pictures of with Norman Reedus, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you're hanging out with those guys. That's so cool. Yeah, I went to the last Walker Stalker cruise, the very last one they did. So we had a blast, and I've been really blessed to become friends with most of the people from Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. They shot World Beyond right in my backyard, practically.
Wow. That's the online version of their series.
It's actually the spin-off show. The spin-off show that's going to link the old show to what they're going to do next. So it's very it's going to kick off what they're going to do next, especially with Rick. So it's about the youth that have grown up in the apocalypse, and not before it started or right when it started, but after it started.
Right. So they've never known any other world before the apocalypse.
Right, exactly. And it was shot 2 years here in Virginia. They shot 2 seasons of it, and I have stories to tell about it one day when I can. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You can't, until it's released, you can't say much of anything.
Yeah, I've been really blessed lately. I've had a lot of projects that I've been involved with that I'm really excited that are coming out. But until they fully come out, I can't. After you sign NDAs and stuff.
I know. Yeah, I definitely understand that.
Yeah,
100%.
and so it's that whole I can't wait to talk about this, and I'm really excited about some future things that are coming up. So,
we'll just we'll have to follow you and keep up with it.
Yeah,
and wait and see. It'll be like Christmas.
And actually, one of the bigger ones that I'm really excited about that's not Walking Dead related. Will be out in October, and
that's cool. That's right around the corner.
And I'll talk about that when it gets close. So,
awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say, cosplaying the community. Like, what has that, being in this world of cosplay? How do you think it has changed your life now? As opposed to before you were in these, going to these conventions and meeting these people and building these connections with everyone. Like, how much of an impact has that really, put onto your life?
Right. Double-edged sword. It's cosplay. I had no idea cosplay was as large as it was.
It's ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
Because there's so many genres and there's subgenres.
I had I was so green to all this. I had no idea. I have to say, cosplay's it's a huge passion of mine as far as the getting things as authentic and I'm what you shoot a lot of your photos what I would call cosplay realism, which is you go out in the world, you find a spot, and you shoot.
Yeah.
There are a lot of cosplayers, unfortunately, because of either where they live or the type of cosplay they do, they have to do a lot of digital manipulation.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go on record and say, for me, as a Walking Dead-centered cosplayer, I'm not a fan of digital for Walking Dead. Just personally.
Yeah.
Because Walking Dead lives in a universe where they dress these sets or they go to these locations and they dress them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very real world. I'm not a DC cosplayer. I'm not anime. I'm not I'm not a fantasy driven cosplayer. Not that I appreciate those, but for me personally, I don't like to use a lot of digital.
Yeah. So you like to get out in the scene and actually.
Yeah. So I ride around and I find locations and I look at them through the lens of the Walking Dead universe and I think, gosh, that would be an amazing spot to shoot at. Or I'll come across an area and go, oh my gosh, we could shoot this particular season. And I'll literally sometimes plan it out. I'll take the beard down here or I'll take it off here and I'll be able to go back and do season 6 or season 7 or, whatever the case may be.
Right.
And I'll find these locations and we go shoot at them. And so, it's certainly, I've always loved photography. And so, though my sis shoots majority of it for me, it's definitely a collaboration because, she's capturing the moment, but we're both constantly talking about angles and lighting and
just directing poses and things like that.
And making sure I'm turned the right way and
exactly.
Because I don't do, unfortunately, in cosplay there's a lot of sides to it that people don't realize. There are a lot of sides to it that are super positive and super negative. And there's a lot, unfortunately, there's a lot of toxicity in anything that's genre related, which is sad, but true. And I don't use a lot of face morphing apps and stuff like that. I mean, my face is, you're seeing me on camera, this is what I look like. I mean, and that's one of the things that when I decided to do this, I don't want to manipulate anybody into thinking that I'm not what I am.
And I think that's one of the things I really did notice about you, because there are a few Rick Grimes cosplayers in Instagram, and you know, you're one of the ones that I did notice that your photos are not photoshopped.
Right.
Your face is your face.
Right.
And I think that you really do, you embody the character, and it's showing it through your facial expressions. Like, I don't think you, like, I could tell you're not using any manipulation.
Right. And thank you. That means a lot, because I used to get, and I still do, I get a lot of, you know, unfortunately you get a lot of good compliments and people want to talk to you, and then you get like some really negative things that people
there's a lot of haters out there, unfortunately, and it's a shame, because there's such a beautiful vibe about cosplay, but there are those haters out there that try to like ruin your world.
So for me, like, I've always been a very attention to detail person.
Me too.
I'm very attention to detail. So, as you know, in cosplay, it's all about the details. So
it's all about the details.
Yeah, it is. And so, you know, when I do Rick, when I'm doing any season of Rick or any look of Rick, for me, it's getting the clothing as 100% as possible. Because, you know, God gave me what I look like. My hair is naturally curly. You know, he and I share a lot of facial, you know, similarities, structure.
Definitely doppelgangers, for sure.
So, all of that is well and good, but if I don't have the clothes right and the background, which is also, without the set, it's a huge part of it. Like, if I don't have the right setting and I don't have and the clothing's not right, it's all wrong. So,
I get it.
That's where
it's like all or nothing. That's how you feel.
And that's where I look at a lot of source photos, and I make sure to place the holes in his jeans the right size, the right placing, and any details with jackets and boots, and so that's where the love, you know, you might as well say the love-hate relationship with your cosplay is, because like it can drive you a little crazy. I mean, like,
you can, because you always it's almost like painting, like you never feel like you're done, so you constantly keep having to do it a little bit here, a little bit there.
Artists are their own worst critics. I mean, Sis being an artist, and I dabble in art, but she's the main artist. You know, you're your own worst critic, and you're hypercritical of everything you do, and so you know you can
psych yourself out a lot too. Because
you can truly get lost in cosplay, down a rabbit hole in a really negative way, and it can be self-deprecating, and so you know, I often tell people, if you're going to get into cosplay, first have fun. Second of all, don't forget why you got into it, and third, you know, don't fall too far into the trappings of, you know, remember who you are, why you're doing it, you know, and
absolutely.
So, especially if you're a professional cosplayer, if you want to be a professional cosplayer, you got to put in the work. I mean, serious work. And it is a lot of work and dedication. And it's a level that is really scrutinized. So just be prepared for some, you know, negative feedback. You have to take it all in stride. So you just gotta grow a thick skin and just don't listen to what other people are saying. Listen to what your heart's telling you. Absolutely. So you have, you know, I think that's for life lessons too. It is. It translates across the board in anything you're doing. You put in the work. You put in the dedication. Nobody's going to ever really know the full amount of work and blood, sweat, tears you put into it, and don't expect them to also acknowledge that. You have to realize, like, I know what I've done.
Exactly.
I know what I'm doing.
Yep.
At the end of the day, if I'm happy with it and I know the truth, I can, deflect a lot of that stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. Just knowing like how you feel about it, knowing you put that work into it, knowing you love it, and you because like you said, we are our worst critics, and if you love it, then that's all that matters.
Exactly. I mean, because there'll be pictures we take, and I think, oh my gosh, this picture is probably the best one. Like, it's my favorite. Like, and I'll post it, and I'll get like, it's weird. I'll get 80 likes, and I'll be like, that's so weird. Like, this picture's awesome. And then I'll post a random selfie, and it gets 2,000 likes.
I know, like, it's so random.
I'm like, what? So yeah, so. It can drive you a little crazy, especially if you're, you're trying
you gotta kind of not let it get to you too much.
Yeah. Especially if you're trying to grow your fan base and grow your page and and stretch beyond where you're at. It can be a little crazy. So.
Yeah. So your sister, tell me, like, you guys, is she older than you, or are you older than her?
She's my baby sister.
So she's your baby sister. This has to be so much fun for you guys to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She's the baby. We have a brother that's in between age.
Okay.
So fun fact: Andy and I are the same age. We're the same height, shoe size, the whole nine.
Wow.
Yeah, and all of our iPhones, iPads, Macs have all facial recognition thought we're the same person for years.
Yeah.
Like it can't differentiate between the two.
Wow.
So
really are like a real life doppelganger.
Yeah, doppelganger.
Like, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I jokingly said this. I was like, seriously, but joking. But I've said for years I would love to go on PBS with Finding Your Roots, and Andy and I I've done my lineage back to 1500s, and I know who is in my lineage, and I have a feeling we have kin somewhere in there, because a lot of my family came from the area that Andy's relatives, his bloodline is from. So
it wouldn't be surprising.
It wouldn't be far of a
like
stretch.
You guys express a lot of the same I
mean, we have a lot more similarities than people realize. I mean, I met Andy years ago, and that was a moment that was really surreal for me.
I'm sure.
But his wife was with him, and I didn't know she was there, and she had a complete freak out. And so, when you look that much like her husband, and it's kind of when
that's
I
telling. That's
when
telling.
I get her when I've got her approval, then I mean like that's so yeah. I mean it's with family, it can either tear you apart or bring you closer together. For Karina and I, it certainly has brought us closer together. We're best friends.
I think I have a picture of you and your sister. I'm going to ask Jeeves to bring up that pic real quick. That's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Can you finish what you were saying? So you said for you two, it's actually done.
Yeah. Yeah, she's my best friend, and we do so many cons together, and that's her. Yeah. That's actually at a recent charity event. I had the privilege to frame 32 pieces for children's literacy, and they invited us to the gala, and that's us at the gala. So yeah, we do a lot of stuff together outside of cosplay. So yeah, she's my photographer. She's artist. She's my best friend, and we've been through some stuff that's brought us closer together. Now, do we sometimes get in little tiffs and stuff? Like, yeah, I mean, I'm the oldest of all the children, so
me too.
So I've had to deal with more than the younger ones have. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'm a very protective person. So when you have me in your corner, I fight for you, and I'm there when you're in the trenches or the highest moments and everywhere in between. So I'm really a loyal like protective person. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, she's a lucky lady to have
oh,
you.
thanks. Well, I consider myself extremely blessed because I mean, she's put up with a lot, and we've been through a lot, and you know, sometimes she has to take the back seat a lot of times, and you know, there so many people want to talk to me and come close to me,
Yeah.
and you know, she kind of gets outshined sometimes, and
Yeah.
that can be a tough spot for some.
That is that I see that a lot in cosplay with families who
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
very popular cosplayer and friends want to go with them to a con. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you might not have that much fun because I'm pretty
Right.
like involved with the crowd and it's hard to like really hang out
Yeah,
and
I
busy,
mean,
like, you know.
yeah, I mean, you know, I do something. I don't know how unique. I don't know of a lot of cosplayers that do it, but like I offer if any Walking Dead fan wants me in their actual photo op, I'll go stand in their photo op with them for free. I don't charge for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And so if they, you know, and I've had a lot of people invite me and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting a picture with Denai, and I want you dressed up as Rick," or "I want, you know, I'm going to meet Norman, and I want you to come along." And I'm like, "Sure," because I mean, I've gotten to know Norman
Yeah.
over the years, and the rest of them, and so they know, you know, they see me and they know exactly who I am, and you know, we have an ongoing, you know,
That's
relationship.
so cool. I love that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, as far as family goes, we're tight, and you know, we do a lot of cool stuff together, and she's right in the trenches with me. So
Yeah, I want to see. So let's look at her. Like, let's look at her photo skills here. And I got another picture of here.
Oh yeah.
Explain this photo to me, because this
Wow.
is great. This looks
Okay. That's
so good.
That's a real location. That used to be a water holding like facility.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, I had said I want to shoot there one day as the building was there, like, and we just never shot there. And we drove by one day to go take photos, and it's actually a group of photos that I recently that I'll circle back to and talk about. But we pulled up, and I'm like, they had dynamited that building 2 days before, and I'm like.
Yeah.
They had caution tape all over the place. It was like, do not cross. And I was like, you know, we can't not take a picture in front of this. I was like, I'll be careful. I promise I won't do anything that'll get us in trouble or injured. But I'm like, you can't not take a photo in front of that.
That is great photo opportunity.
If you know the show, Rebar is a huge Easter egg for Rick for certain reasons, and I won't spoil anything, but there's just something about it's structurally still there, but it's in like a million pieces, and that's kind of how The Walking Dead was. And once the apocalypse happened, you're left with the rent. You know what's you're kind. Everybody in the apocalypse goes from a solid state to sort of like a million pieces. So that photo speaks so many different on so many different levels. So yeah, that's a real place. It's gone now. They finished bulldozing it, but I got photos before it got demolished. Yeah. So
this one is right here.
Oh,
I love this. So how long did it take you to find that coat?
Okay, so that coat is. I do not have the original coat that Andy wore on the show.
That is like almost identical. And I know sometimes finding like that all is amazing.
Yeah, thanks. Well, so for the Rick cosplayers or just for knowledge in general, Andy's coat is made by UGG. So the original UGG jacket that he wore in the show is extremely hard to find. So Suzati Clothing made that jacket for me. And I have never washed it, cleaned it. I have sweat bullets in it. I have rolled around the dirt. I ripped the zipper out just like from the show.
Yep.
So
gotta keep it authentic.
Everything on there is real wearing. So and then we found that field, the way it's dressed and all, it just worked perfectly for the throwback you know, to season, you know, 5, 6 era, you know, so that's a great, that's one of my new photos.
This is your, this was your newest post before the one you just posted, but yes.
Yeah.
This is great. So you just did this one.
Yeah, I did. Fun fact, that is an old Levi's plant.
Really? That's funny.
They made Levi's jeans there, and Andy wears Levi's jeans in the show. So that's a little fun Easter egg. That's it's deteriorating bad, and that's between the wall where they had some kind of like electrical fire deal.
Okay.
And the paint's just peeling off. It's so raw.
Yeah,
and
it looks great.
There's a hole. It blew a hole through the wall, and I'll post that picture eventually. And so we snuck between the wall, and she shot between the wall and the machinery. It's actually a tighter spot than it looks.
Yeah,
but
I believe it.
She got a good angle, and the paint peeling and everything is just
that's
amazing.
That's great.
Thanks.
You know, it's also kind of ironic. I don't know. Have you watched a lot of Fear of the Walking Dead?
Oh yeah. Well, so Jenna Elfman, if you know, I recently. So Jenna's actually a really good friend of mine. And,
oh really?
And I've become really good. I've been blessed enough to be really good friends with most of the Fear cast and the people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We are huge Fear fans. So
that's cool.
And I remember telling you could easily do June as a cosplay.
Yeah, it was crazy back when she was in Dharma and Greg.
Dharma and Greg. Yeah.
Yeah, my I was married before. I'm on my second marriage now, but I was married before. My former husband used to say, "Oh my God, you remind me so much of her." Like even her character on the show. Yeah. So I was always like a girl.
You do have the not only look of Jenna, but you have a vibe about you that she's very loving and bubbly, and she's just amazing individual. And she's. I got to know Jenna. She saw me at the first Walker Stalker. And she sent me a message and was like, "You look incredible."
Yeah,
like,
that's so cool.
She followed me, sent me a message. I got to know her at a con finally, and I was really nervous to meet her. And then we became friends, and I was seeing her like every month before the pandemic. So she's an incredible person. So she seems like she is. I've never known her, of course, but you know, you can kind of pick up vibes from people. Oh yeah, you can tell if someone's genuine or not, even on camera. And I was like, she seems like such a nice person. She is. She's
one of the sweetest. Does. Yeah. I think I now that you've said that, I definitely think I want to do that. That's going to be a challenge for me now. So I'm going to start looking for the stuff to put it together.
Yeah. Her character is so complex. She has so many facets. She grows from level to level. Yeah. And so not only
we have something in common. Yeah. We're both ICU nurses.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She would probably really appreciate a good cosplay of her because technically there is nobody out there that's really done a good.
Really? Well, that brings. Okay, so I want to bring this up real quick because the relationship between celebrities on screen and cosplayers who portray those characters, it's such a symbiotic relationship, and it's such an amazing thing, like going to a con and actually meeting the person who plays the character that you are that you have such a connection with, that you portray this character yourself. I just think that it's cool because in one hand, the cosplay wouldn't exist without the show or the movie or the celebrity. Yeah. And then on the other hand, for a celebrity to have someone like actually cosplay them, it's such a like a symbol of like making it and fandom and being successful. And it's like a great feeling, like an honor,
Absolutely. So how much better? I mean, like. You play a role. You put all yourself into it. Yeah. You pray that your work will be sufficient. You pray that it'll connect with a bunch of people, that the show will, I mean, you want people to connect with you and the show, but you ultimately want them to be invested in the show to where the show stays around. Because
exactly.
last thing you want to do as an actor or actress is to put all of you into a role that may take you away from your family. It may make you work. People don't realize that when you work on set, you may work a 12, 14, 18-hour shoot day back to back.
It's hard.
It's a lot of sacrifice and commitment, and for your character to become so loved that somebody would want to physically go out and embody that character at an event or at a con or in photos. Wow, that's like the pinnacle of like, I mean, you know you've made it when somebody's cosplayed you. So I mean, it's kind of like the ultimate recognition.
Yeah, it is. It's cool. I just the gunpowder milkshake that I just did not too long ago. One of the actors commented on my picture, and he and I have been communicating back and forth. He's actually going to be on the show in a couple weeks.
Wow,
so
that's
huge.
David.
David will be on the show in 2 weeks, so that'll be really cool.
Awesome.
But I love it. It's like it's so great how this whole thing, like cosplay fandom, like the cosplay community brings so many people together, and it's like people you never thought you'd ever meet.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it still baffles me that when I really think about like everything we've done so far, everything that's gonna be done in the future, it's a lot. I mean, I never really thought my life would be like this, so I take it with a lot of, I try to, take it, walk with it, work with it, live with it with a lot of humility and care, because it's technically, Rick Grimes is not mine. I don't own Rick Grimes.
No,
Robert Kirkman and Charlie Adelard and everybody else that worked on Walking Dead comic book, that's where Rick Grimes originally was our one-dimensional hero.
Yeah.
Andrew Lincoln breathed life into Rick. He made Rick three-dimensional and beyond
He did.
every Sunday. So it's Andy's body of work foremost, and so I take it with a lot of I try to carry it with a lot of care, because I don't ever want to misrepresent not only him or the show or myself, or take away from the fandom. So
exactly,
it's a lot of care involved. When
it is, it's a responsibility, and you should take it very serious. I think that's what when I talk to people, it's like that's one of the things. Like when you're representing that character, you need to like really respect that character.
Absolutely, because it's somebody's life. Could be their lifeblood, and it's their work, and you don't want to misrepresent it or taint it or put some kind of spin on it that is in ill will or ill light. Thank
you, Andrew. 1980 says that's a great June there.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you.
I know. I was like, I'm gonna do my hair like June today. I think I'm gonna do it.
Oh my gosh, she's got so many cool looks. So
I know she does. I love it. I loved when she was wearing the tennis shoes. She's like, 'cause I gotta run away.
Yeah, one of my favorite looks is when she is more. I'm pretty sure she's Laura at that point.
Yeah.
When she's got like the braids, like in like a mohawk. Oh my gosh! I mean,
it was badass. It was really
so
good.
badass in this picture. I mean, and she's got that leather jacket on. Oh gosh!
I know.
So, yeah, as a cosplayer, that's like, oh my gosh, like you would kill that. Like you would look amazing.
Thank you. I'm definitely gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it.
Awesome.
Definitely. So I think is it time for? Oh, it is. It's time for the Ultimate Convention.
Oh yeah.
So we gave you these questions so you could have some time to think about it.
I have.
But every week we send you off to a 3-day convention wherever you want it to be. You get to choose 3 different cosplays. You also get to meet one celebrity with a meet and greet, and then you also get one celebrity photo shoot opportunity. So I'm going to ask you these 6 questions. And the
Okay.
first one is, where in the universe would you like this convention to be held?
Tokyo.
Tokyo. Yes.
Yeah. I have.
Have you been there?
No, but I have a lot of fans from Japan that send me messages all the time.
Mm.
And there's something about Tokyo. I would love to just go and not only do an event there, but just immerse myself for maybe like 3 weeks there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'd love to
but
go
I
to
would
Japan.
love. Oh my gosh, I would love to do a huge con in Tokyo. Like
that would be so cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right, so it's a 3-day con in Tokyo.
Okay.
So Friday night, the warm-up night, which cosplayer will you be doing that night on Friday?
Oh gosh. See now, So I'll just give you a little. The type of Rick cosplayer I am really committed. So I have done cons where on a Friday, if you met me, I might have a beard, and then Saturday I might have shaved it off.
That's awesome.
That kind of crazy kind of stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, so I would have to do OG, like season 8 Rick All Out War is one of my favorite looks. And since I rock a beard most of the time and my hair's longer, I would come guns a-blazing All Out War Rick first day.
Okay, War Rick.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
So, second day.
Yeah,
Saturday,
the main day, the big
Saturday, day. I actually might, I might, I've enjoyed doing future looks of Rick, what Rick could look like in the future. I'm actually the first one to ever do that.
I think that's cool. I love when cosplayers do that. I love that.
So I love that outfit so much that I think day 2 I would have to do future Rick. What do you
That's
think?
really cool.
And then Sunday, I might go all out and take the beard off and rock OG Rick sheriff's hat. Bring in the sheriff's hat and the sheriff's shirt and the jeans and boots.
Yeah.
More like season. Late season 1, season 2.
Yeah, early season 2, like on
the
farms.
Because a lot of people. I mean, if you go through my Instagram page, you'll see photos without a beard, but I still look like him even without a beard.
Yeah,
so,
you do. You really do.
Yeah, I like Sheriff Rick, so I wouldn't mind going back and doing like a season 2 jeans, boots, sheriff shirt and hat.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you've met a lot of your of the celebrities from the show.
This one's probably gonna shock you.
Yes. So who would be your meet and greet, your celebrity meet and greet?
Jason Momoa.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a huge DC fan. So Jason Momoa and I have a lot of
cool.
Yeah, we have a lot more in common than people realize. I love axe throwing. And
Me too.
If you've never seen my axe throwing video on Instagram, you'll have to watch it. We did it in one take in my first ever time of going through axe throwing. I had never thrown axes before. She took me for my birthday. They shut the place down for me. And the guy that owns the place is a champion knife thrower. And he made knives for different movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me verbatim that I was one of the most natural axe throwers he's ever seen. And I love axe throwing. And Jason Momoa is a huge axe thrower.
Yeah.
And,
it must be in your DNA.
Yeah. And I'm a huge DC fan. I've always been a huge DC fan as a kid. And his Aquaman is awesome. And he's my favorite from the new Zack Snyder era. Into his standalone movie. I'm a huge Momoa fan, period. I would love to meet Momoa. Like, he's on my top bucket list.
He's cool. And he's even cool because he married the coolest lady I know.
Yeah, exactly. And, I'm a huge Lenny Kravitz fan, too. And so it's like, it's a weird trifecta because I grew up watching the Cosby Show, which is
Yeah,
now,
me too.
which is
And I
now,
was a huge Lenny
unfortunately,
Kravitz fan back in the day too.
yeah, I mean, and I love Lenny. I
I
would love
know.
to see Lenny live, and they have such an awesome relationship. It's really real. It's not fake. Like, he married, since he married, Lenny's ex-wife, and they all share kids, and they share such a
Very progressive
relationship.
family.
So between Lisa and Jason and Lenny, like that right there, if I met all three of those, oh my gosh, that would be such a trifecta that I think I would just pass out. So
Yeah, right out. Cold.
yeah,
out,
yeah,
cold.
exactly.
Out
I
cold.
mean, I don't know what I would do, so yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's definitely like. Oh wait, so okay, so who would be your photo opportunity? What
Oh
would your
gosh.
photo opportunity be? Paint the picture for me, please.
Gosh, I've taken so many great photos with
I
celebrities.
know it's,
too.
and then I
Oh,
knew this was
gosh.
going to be hard for you because, like you even said, you're like, I even go and take photos.
Yeah,
with other
I
people,
mean,
so.
I recently just took a photo with Tyler Hoechlin from Superman, CW Superman, who
Oh,
was also in Teen Wolf, and
yeah.
Tyler, like so many, he had such a freak out. He had to stop the photo op. Like it was really like surreal. Like because
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of his. Anyway, so if I got to choose a photo op with somebody that like I haven't ever met before or taken a photo, gosh, I would probably want a full Justice League photo, like Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, like full on, and Ezra Miller, like full freak out Justice League photo. Like
Okay.
I think I would love if I got to just have a cool like photo op. That would be.
And where would you be? Would you be Rick?
Probably.
I think that would be cool,
freaking
just
out
hanging
in the
out with
middle.
the Justice.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah, exactly. Maybe giving Ben Affleck my gun and Jason and Aquaman my hatchet, and different stuff. So
that's
yeah,
a great idea. That's really cute. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody thought I was gonna say Walking Dead, but I've met just
You've had the ultimate convention.
Yeah, yeah, and even
You've already.
yeah, I mean, and I've even had the chance to, I had such a life-changing experience with Scott Wilson, and now he's gone, and so
Yeah.
those memories live on,
Yep.
So yeah, back to DC, yeah, I would definitely take a Zack Snyder Justice League photo op. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So your ultimate convention would be held in Tokyo for 3 days.
Yeah.
And your Friday cosplay would be the season 8 Warwick full on.
Yeah.
Saturday main event Future Rick.
Future Rick. Yeah.
All out going for it.
Yeah.
And Sunday you would go off with the OG Sheriff Rick.
OG Sheriff. Yeah.
Yep. And then of course you get to meet and greet Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah. And then run, take a photo op with all.
Yeah, and let's go. We got to get the photo now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think.
And then I think the only other one was, who would I like to run into in cosplay, right? Like.
Yeah, like if someone else was
Mm-hmm.
someone you've never seen, because I know, like, I don't know. If you're a certain character and you want to act out with somebody else who's another character, but you never run into him, you're like, when am I ever going to meet this person?
Right.
Who is it?
So, as you mean dressed as cosplay? Like, who would I like to meet as a really awesome cosplay? Like,
yeah, like if you saw someone dressed in a really cool cosplay, what would that be?
I would really want to see an awesome Joel and Ellie from Last of Us. Because we're huge fans of Naughty Dog, and my sister just got featured by Naughty Dog for her cosplay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So she's in cosplay too.
Yeah, I helped her with about. So I helped her with her breather, her gas mask. I helped alter that, and I helped her streamline her look, and then she did the rest, and then we found the perfect place to shoot
You
it.
guys are like the dynamic duo.
Yeah, and
I you guys really are.
I shot the photo, and Naughty Dog featured her on
That's
their
great.
Instagram page.
Congratulations.
Yesterday, and that was a huge. She had submitted it quite a ways back, and she's like, "Oh well, maybe they just don't like it." I'm like, "Girl, it was awesome. Like, we'll just." And then I went on Instagram yesterday, and it popped up, and I was like, "Wait a minute, like that's Karina," and I'm like, "That's Naughty Dog's page." I'm like, "That's amazing," because like we're huge video game nerds, and she's playing Last of Us 2, replaying Last of Us 2 right now.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I love, Uncharted and Last of Us, and they're just awesome games. And Last of Us is very apocalyptic, so I would fit right in with Joel and Ellie with a photo. And I would love to see a good Joel. I see Joel sometimes online on Ellie, but I've never seen one at a con with Joel and Ellie.
So I think that's perfect. That's
great.
great.
I have a question for Mr. Grimes.
Oh.
If it was a zombie apocalypse, how long do you think you could survive for?
Oh, I definitely have more skills to pay the bills in the apocalypse, so I can.
You've picked up a lot of tips watching.
Oh yeah, well I was always athletic in certain degrees, and I was a Boy Scout, and I work out 5 to 6 days a week, and I'm still very agile, and I think I could survive.
Yeah, and you got the hatchet throwing.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm good at. I have great aim and everything, so yeah, I would probably survive till the end, or quite a ways. So yeah.
I always like to think about every time we're watching it, because I'll watch it over and over again, and I actually have watched it maybe 3 times through. Except I stopped right when Rick left at the first part. I haven't watched since then because my new husband. I'm trying to catch him up. So we started with Fear Walking Dead with him, and we've gotten we haven't seen the last season of that yet, but we're on season 2 right now of the original Walking Dead. So
you're back at season 2.
Yeah. So this will be my 4th time through, but every time I watch it, I'm like, yes, I know exactly what I'm going to do, what I'm going to need. Like, don't listen to that person. It's
Well, I really, I feel like I could do pretty well. Karina always jokingly says you would have to save me or keep me safe because can be a little klutzy, and she's, so I would definitely have to be the leader, of whatever group. So Well,
I'm gonna join your crew because
it's crazy. So many people have said that. They're like, "Oh, with everything going on, if it goes down, I'm gonna be on your crew." I want to say, I'm not fully Rick, right? But I am decent. Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have to wrap it up pretty soon. But while we're leaving, one of my favorite things to do with my son, because me and I have 3 kids, and my 2 youngest kids, we're huge Walking Dead fans, and we always watch Walking Dead together.
Okay.
And we like to just call each other Coral because we love each other so much.
Right.
So I know Jeeves was really excited to do.
Where's Coral?
He wants to know where Coral is.
Coral.
Carl's in the house where he's supposed to be. So.
Coral.
Coral.
So at the end, so when the music starts, let's just say Coral. I just want to say, because I love saying it so much, and I think
Andy hates it.
I know he hates it. Why couldn't you have named him something other than Carl?
He's like, why couldn't it have been like Bobby or Robert? He's like, Carl. Like,
Coral.
So he hates it. So, but Carl in real life, Chandler is one of the nicest people ever. So.
Yeah, he is. My daughter had a crush on him. Coral.
Well, Coral is Coral's a cool kid in real life, so.
I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, I've had I've gotten to know Chandler's whole family, and his dad calls me his best Rick. So that's a huge compliment since he knows Andy so well, too. So Chandler is amazing individual and an amazing DJ on top of it. He DJ'd on the Walker Stalker cruise. So I got to watch his whole DJ set. So it was
That's
awesome.
cool.
So Coral can DJ. So
well, I'll have to check him out. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you. I hope we didn't run over too bad. So
no,
gosh,
I will see you soon. You have IG, the real Rick. No, you are the Everyday Grimes on Twitter, on Facebook, and on IG. Do you have any other social medias?
I'm probably gonna launch a Vero account soon, because Vero is where a lot of cosplayers, like to, post up.
Yeah.
I don't really do TikTok. I'm not really into TikTok. Maybe in the future, but I think Vero is my next platform that I'm gonna do. So. All
right. Well, we'll look for you there.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This has been so much fun. I really appreciate it. So.
Yeah, I was so glad to have you on. Thank you,
thanks.
Everyday Grimes. And your name is David, correct?
David, yeah.
David.
So my real name's David, but everybody in the Walking Dead world knows me as the Everyday Grimes. So.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Take care.
Have a great night. And I'll see you soon.
Congrats on the baby, and
thank you.
And keep up the amazing cosplay. And I want to see that Jenna cosplay. So
yeah.
take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye.